president of Match Patch Pro, and I'm going to show you guys how you can load your own cartridges and save quite a bit of money. You're also going to always have a mixed batch. In other words, it hasn't been sitting on a shelf somewhere where you're trying to shake it up. We're selling the blank cartridges so you can do this. Comes with the tubes. We use not a little 7-inch tip, we use a long tip. The small ones are why you can get bad mixes. Plus, with a longer tip, it's easier on your back when you're installing. Comes with a plug that you put in the end, like so. 2 plungers and a nut. So to load these, we're gonna load up Match Patch Pro Fast Cure grout, all recolored. Hopefully it's black. Doesn't look very black, does it? But I put quite a bit of pigment in it. And that with the list price of the Match Patch Pro FC grout and the price of the cartridge, you're going to fill it for $29, as opposed to buying something that's called Pit or Rapid or whatever and paying $56. Okay, so essentially you're saving $26 a load and always having it fresh. But you do have to use the Match Patch Pro immediately after you mix it because of settlement. Just take one of these clamps like this. You can get a Harbor Freight. Clamp it to the edge. Make sure it plugs on there. I'm going to mix an equal amount of Part C cements, 8 ounces, with an equal amount of one side of the resin. Make sure you mix it good. It doesn't take very long at all. Just use a garbage bag, sit on a bucket, pretty much job site conditions except I'm in my backyard. Mix the first one. Don't use the same stick for both mixes. Mix the second one. Hopefully the wind doesn't come through on the deal. I've been waiting for 4 days to do this, but we're just going to have some of those Santa Ana winds, I'm afraid. It's actually getting kind of warm today also. Okay, so I'm just basically going to take this now and pour into one side. I'm going to mix this again a little bit and pour into the other side. Make sure you don't get one in the other or you're going to cause a hard spot. And try to make them as even as you can. And take a plug, insert it, take the other plug, insert it, take the clamp off, make sure they're pretty on there, turn it over, then slowly pull the cap off. You could get a little spit because there's air in there. Now I'm going to take the tip, insert the tip, take the nut, screw it on, make sure it's seated good, otherwise you're going to get a leak out the side. But that goes with any kind of a pre-filled cartridge or anything you use. And you're done. Then you're going to hold it upright and watch the flow. You're getting rid of the air right here. You're also watching for a good mix. Okay? This is the last time, even moving from place to place, you will hold this cartridge upright. You will hold your finger over the end. A lot of manufacturers don't tell you that, but the cartridge needs to point down and you get some run back. Now I'm going to bleed it off, so I know I've got good stuff. Put my finger over it. This one we're going to do a little black overlay. But you can do this in a crack or a spall or whatever you want to do it on. This is paper thin, by the way. I cut these letters with a 4-inch grinder. Now, unlike other things, like polyurea, I got 8 minutes to get to the next spot with this, okay? I'm just holding my finger over the top, and I can move, and I have 8 minutes because this isn't going to cure in this tip for 8 minutes. Maybe it will out here in the sun. We might only have 5 minutes. Of course, heat makes a difference. So, and if you want to go with this method with the grout, you could pre-fill, level your spalls, your cracks, and then just come back. It's not as good as the patch, but you can come back with your local aggregate and just sprinkle it on the top. This method might be faster for some people, but I'm just going to broadcast this black in there, black color quartz. Now we'll show how to load the Joint Fill 80 polyurea. It has the matchstick tints also available. We call ours Everyday Gray. This is the good, some people call it moisture tolerant. We call it moisture resistant, okay? We don't want you to get the idea that you can just put it into a joint full of water, okay? The joint really needs to be dry. You've got to saturate into the sidewalls of that joint. But for demonstration purposes, we're going to displace the water I just poured into this joint. Same rules apply as far as you can dip right out of the 5 and do this. With our list price also under 20 bucks. Not very good to do in the wind. Kicks up fast here. Yeah, but I didn't have too much trouble doing that. Of course, always have a rag nearby. Plugs in. Turn it over, seat them a little better, pull the cap off, slowly put it down here. Now once I'm set up, I can load about 30 of these in a half hour by myself. 6 are approximately a gallon, okay? But if you don't want to, some people are paying $39 for these. And why would you do that if you can load them for under 20 bucks with the premium moisture resistant polyurea? It's the latest and greatest. It's not version 6 or anything like that. Match Pass Pro came out on top with number 1. Same thing. You're going to hold it up. long tube ensures mixing. Bleed it off. Now this one, you only have 1 minute. We'll go backwards on it. Joint fill, and this is my first attempt at an overlay. I don't like the sand that went in it. I didn't put enough black. It didn't get dark enough, but you can't feel it. Okay, it's in there. It's flush with the concrete, polished out just fine, and you can see where I went through it where I didn't get it deep enough. This is paper thin right here, and no debonding, so not bad.